Hey guys, this is going to be part 2 of What If Deku Had a Dragon Guardian? And we start this off when we start this part off where they go head back home, and during the week before they get their envelopes for it, Zuko, well, for this, and this, Zuko is going to have enough dragon blood to feel other dragonkin, like other people with dragon blood in them's pain. Which, in this one, I'm going to have it so a certain small child has a very small amount of dragon blood. So this child will only have a horn, that's it. And if you guys don't know who this is, you will find out. And let's say it's a Tuesday on that week, and Zuko just wants this, and he's just casually chopping up wood, and then he suddenly winces in pain, and he checks his body, and he sees nothing wrong with him. Then when Zuko doesn't see any injuries or doesn't feel any pain from his body, he goes to his mindscape and asks Morgana if dragons can feel other dragons' pain. And she goes like, "Yes, my child, we can. Why? And she goes like, "I've winced in pain not too long ago." Yeah. For this one, I'm gonna make it so if I said that Izuku said his real name to Uraka, so I'm gonna change that to he said his name he chose now, Shuka Uzume, which Morgana's last name is Uzume, so he just took that. Now we get back to the real story, and Zuko is like still talking to Morgana and goes like, "Morgana, I think there's another person with dragon blood in them." And Morgana and dragons can still, and full-fledged dragons can completely sense all dragons, even ones that have dragon blood in them. And Morgana goes like, "Yes, I should have sent them by now. I wonder why I didn't." And she goes like, "Maybe they didn't want to be found by that time, or they didn't unlock their dragon blood." Yeah. She goes like, "Maybe." And she's just like, "The pain I felt." Then Zuko goes like, "Thank you, Morgana." And she goes like, "No worries, my child." Then Izuku goes like, "Hi, Morgana." And she goes like, "Bye, my child." And then Izuku exits his mindscape and goes to Katsura. And Katsura goes like, "What is it, honey?" Well, actually, no. She goes like, "What is it, Izuku?" And she goes like, "I felt pain of I think there's another dragon blood." And she goes like, "Really?" And he was like, yeah, I think the pain I felt was like pain that I felt before, but I haven't felt that pain before. And she was like, what did it feel like? And he goes like, it felt like I had so many scars on my arms and legs, and I keep getting caught in those places. I think this person's getting their blood removed, little by little. And when Izuku feels that pain again, and this time he actually feels feels the dragon blood cry, and it makes him angry, and he goes like, he starts growling because he's mad now, and that girl goes like, what is it? And he just says 2 words. Well, technically 3. Said dragon blood. Then she starts getting angry too because, yeah, that's their species. They're gonna get angry by that. And then Zuko goes like, when I find this dragon blood, we are taking her away from whoever's doing this to her or him. And Karakura goes like, agreed. Now it becomes a Tuesday, and this time Izuku just goes to our Karakura and pretty much confesses his feelings towards her. And then she just hugs him and kisses him on the cheek. Then Izuku just, as if I didn't, okay, if I didn't do this in the previous part, I'm doing it now. He confesses his feelings and he asks for her to be his beloved, and she says yes. Then all of a sudden he feels pain again, and he goes like, he actually, like, an hour later, Izuku feels that same pain again, but with the dragon blood, feeling more pain and more sorrow. And Izuku just pretty much like throws out 10% of his bloodlust. And that's how angry he is right now. And Katsura knows if he throws out that much, he's pissed. Because he hasn't thrown out that much before. And she goes, what's wrong with Izuku? He goes like, same thing. That's it. Tonight we're going to find this one. And I'm going to say this is a night where this person escaped, because we don't know how many times this child has escaped from, this villain that this child is captured, is being kept by. And Katsura goes like, alright then. Now we get to that night, and Izuku and Katsura are just walking through the streets, and then we see a little girl with blue hair, red eyes, and a horn running through the streets. And Izuku smells blood, because, yeah, don't forget, if I forgot to mention this, I'm mentioning it now. All the dragons' senses are 5 times better than a dog's. So yeah, that's like all their dragon senses are better than a dog's sense of smell. So yeah, that's crazy. A crazy amount of it. And Zuko goes like, I smell blood. Dragon blood. Then he hears like H something that sounds like a child's bare feet, and he goes like, Dragon blood is child. And Karsura goes like, a child. And he goes like, this way. And he runs straight towards this child, which is the dragon blood. And Izuku, once he sees the child, he sees that it's a girl, and he immediately opens his arm. Izuku and Katsura are in an alleyway, and Izuku just blows fire, a little bit of fire, out of the alleyway so this child can see it. And she sees it, and Izuku just has his arms out to her and goes like, and pretty much in an expression goes like, come here, please. And since she's trying to get away from this villain, she does. Then Izuku and Katsura go like, we are taking you now. And they fly away to the cabin. And when they get to the cabin, Zuko immediately goes to check, puts this child down and checks on her and goes like, are you alright, little one? And she is crazy shy. She is shy and scared and goes like, yes. And he puts his hand through her hair and says, good. Pretty much brushes her hair backwards. Now let's take these bandages off. And well, this child doesn't want to, and she just goes, we just gives our names first before we do anything. You first, little one. And she goes, Eerie. And Seeker goes like, well, Eerie. Okay, I forgot to mention this, but by the time Izuku got into the school, by the time Izuku got into the entrance exam, he looked like that. Basically, white hair and red eye, black hair and red eyes. And he goes like, my name is Shukan Utame, and she is Kazura Tisdale. And all three of us have something in common. You may not know it, but then he touches his, makes it so she is touching him, and she sees a giant dragon, which is more common. She gets scared a little bit, and then Izuku goes like, is her right? Yeah, she's friendly. And she goes, she? And we're gonna start talking, and goes, yes, little one. You may not know this, but dragons are a thing. And he goes like, what's a dragon? And my girlfriend was like, pretty much me. And you are a part of that. And you have a small amount of dragon blood, but still enough to give you that horn. And Shikuten says, and that is, and I could feel and I felt your pain 2 days ago, so when I felt it again, I just got angry. And just want to find you right away. And then Morgana says that, and that is because dragons were able to feel other dragons' pain. Mostly the royal blood was able to do that. And then she goes like, wait, royal? Then she goes like, oh yes, I forgot to tell you. There's normal dragons, and then there's royal dragons. And Suki goes like, so I'm a royal dragon. That's cool. And I'm gonna go technically half, but yes. And then Eri says, am I a freak? And then Izuku just touches her on the cheeks and goes, you are not a freak. No one here is a freak. I mean, look at me. Just be glad that you... And he shows his wings and horns. And hey, at least you're with someone from your own kind. And we're going to be taking care of you from now on. And she goes like, okay. And she goes like, good. Now, Katsura, could you please find some hide? And she was like, of course it's Ziku. No, Shuka. And she goes to find some hide. And she goes like, Mary, just go in the cabin and look for us. We'll be right back. Oh, and before I forget, and he taps her on the forehead, and it connects his mind with hers. And he goes like, now you can talk to Morgana. And she goes like, yay. Then she now you know, go into the cabin. Just wait for us in there. And she goes, okay. And she goes in there. And Izuku just doesn't let Eri hear his thoughts, and pretty much links with Kazuro's thoughts and says, Kazuro, we are protecting this child. And Kazuro goes like, agreed. My Izuku. And Izuku goes like, oh, stop it, Kazuro. You can't do this now. Now, remember, you're looking for wool, you're looking for leather, and I'm looking for wool. Then, an hour later, they find out the leather and wool, and she goes, Kazuro, you got the wool? I mean the leather? And she goes, yeah, you got the wool? Yeah. Alright. Let's make a mattress for little Eri. And I say that at the same time, right? And they both stop for a second and chuckle. And then they get out of each other's minds and go over to the cabin and start making that a leather bed. And then when they finish, Izuku goes like, "Yuri, I'm outside." And she goes outside and goes like, "Yes, Shika?" And Izuku goes like, "Try out this bed that we made for you." And she goes to jump. She goes to lay on it, and she goes like, "It's perfect." And she goes, "Thank you." And she kind of goes like, well, Izuku goes like, "Of course, well, Eri." In the sense, and we're gonna start caring. Since we're gonna start caring for you, we're gonna give you my. Do you want mine or Kazuro's last name? And she goes like, "Yours?" And she goes like, "Okay then, you'll be Eri Uzume." And she gives him a hug. Then she goes like, "You ready to get those bandages off?" And she goes like, "No." And she goes like, "We're gonna have to eventually." And she goes like, "Okay." And she goes like, "Alright, let's get those bandages off, yeah." And when he sees the scars, she just gets mad. And then she just asks, very in a nice tone, "Eri, who's the one that did this to you?" And Kazuro is just scared. Kazuro just does this. Basically swallows. Basically gulps. And Eri goes like, "Someone named Aurora?" And Izuku goes like, "Thank you, Eri. Now, let's change the subject, shall we? Let's get you a bath." And she goes like, "Yay!" And Izuku goes like, "Follow me." And she goes like, "Okay, Mr. Shika." And Izuku just goes like, "Just call me Shika." And she goes like, "Okay." And then they go to a waterfall. And Izuku gives her a bath. And then the next day, Izuku just goes to a courthouse with Eri. And Izuku goes to the courthouse to change his name completely. And change Eri's last name. Well, give Eri's last name, give her last name of Uzume. And they don't think about it. Well, the courthouse asks Izuku if he would like his mother, where his mother is. And Izuku just says, "Let's just say she abandoned me." And they go like, "Okay." And they make it so he can change his name, and he changes it to Shuko Uzume, which I gave you guys which that's just gonna be his name now. And he's already given that name to Araka. And when they see Eren, and they go like, and Izuku goes like, "And I would like to change her give her the last name Uzume." And I do. When they see the cousin, all the scars on her, Izuku goes like, before they can say anything, Izuku just goes like, I did not do this. I just found her running in the streets. We're going with this answer, and then Sentune. Yeah, Sentune. And when they get back home, well, actually they go to the store next, and Izuku goes like, Eri, pick whatever you want. Eri, you ready to go clothes shopping? And she goes like, yay, yes. And Izuku goes like, alright, let's go. And I'm gonna say this: if Eri trained enough of her dragon blood, she can. And her rewind power is not quirk as well. It is part of her dragon blood. She is a very rare kind of dragon that can rewind someone's time, or herself if she learned that. And she can also do the opposite of rewind, so she can speed up the time of someone. So like, if she wanted to be older, she could. And with her being older, she would be a tad bit wiser. Cause yeah, I guess so. And she goes like, alright, pick one, whatever you want. And she gets this. Don't mind. She gets everything but the purse. And she goes like, is that what you want, Eri? And she goes like, yes. And he goes like, okay, Eri. And he buys it for her. Then they get to the cabin. Now we get to the villain, and the villain cannot find Eri anywhere, so he is getting furious because he's only made one crystal racing bullet. So yeah, and it's only a prototype. So yeah, and this villain is not to be able to get that completely rewind. That there's a lot of those 8 Quirker racing bullets. And yes, that's what it's gonna do. And Tsuka goes like, alright, let's go home, Eri. And she goes like, yay. And he climbs in. Tsuka picks her up and flies away. And Tsuka goes like, hold on, Eri, I need to do something real quick. And he heads to the quirk doctors. And Tsuka just... Well, actually, no. Tsuka buys a phone. Just buys a random phone. Actually, yeah, he doesn't buy a phone. He just makes an appointment for the quirk doctor. And we'll just say it's on a Thursday when the doctor's appointment is. And Zuko just walks in, and his voice is a tad bit deeper. Well, 20% deeper. So he doesn't sound like himself, like Zuko Midoriya at all. He just sounds like who he is now. And the quirk doctor goes like, and the Quirk Doctor calls for Shuka Uzume, and Izuku gets up and walks towards the Quirk Doctor, and Izuku just says, when the Quirk Doctor asks why he hasn't filled in his resume for the Quirk yet, he just says, I didn't have the money to do it, since Izuku pretty much looks like he's over there. Pretty much looks like he's very old. It looks like he's in his 20s, but he's actually, well, pretty sure he would be 14 at that time. Right, no, it looks like he's 19. And I'm pretty sure at that. Hold on. At this time, he was actually 14 when he looked like 19. And Zuko just said he wasn't, either his family or himself was able to make an appointment. And the doctor was okay with that answer. And then Zuko just asked. Then the guy asked what his clerk could do, and he basically said, "Well, I can breathe any element, and I have wings and horns." And the clerk goes, so there hasn't been any history of a clerk like that. So what are you gonna call this? Mitsuki goes think, dragon. And he's like, oh, and why dragon? And he goes like, well, I mostly look like a dragon, and I think with enough training I could become a dragon. And the doctor is okay with this. And then we get to Izuku back to the cabin, and Arias just says, welcome back, Shika. And Izuku goes like, how is your day, little Harry? That's great. And Zuko has been training Eri in her dragon powers, and she is able to breathe ice. And she can still rewind. Remember that. And now she has like and now she has tiny wings that are this color. And Zuko goes like, oh, I see you have little wings now. That's good. Eventually you'll have wings like us. And she goes like, yay. And Zuko goes like, oh look, you're gonna have another horn as well. And she goes like, I do? And he goes like, yeah, you do. It looks beautiful. You look so beautiful with your with your horns and wings. I wonder what your dragon form will look like. Oh yeah, that's always a black type of dragon. So she'll look like this one. Alright, for the dragon forms, this is Caxorus, and Ziggy's wings have changed from his horns have turned red and his wings have turned into those wings. And that's what his dragon form is gonna look like now. At first his wings were at a baby stage. Now that's what he's gonna look like. And when with enough trait when she gets her full potential, when she has a little bit more potential than Izuku because she is a rare dragon. So she will look like this one. She will look like that dragon. And she goes like, and then this is the day when they get their envelopes for the US thing, and they both get first place. Well, they both get first place because they tied. And Kashkoro and Izuku just start laughing and like, we should have saw this coming. And Aaron goes like, what do you mean? And Izuku and Shuka go like, well, we basically got the same amount of points. And we got in the most popular class. Look at that. And Shuka goes like, this is great, yeah? And Aaron goes like, yay! Shuka and Katsura are happy. I'm happy. And Shuka goes like, you deserve to be happy, Eri. You're too beautiful. You're way too beautiful. And you don't need to change a thing. Not even your horns. And she hugs them both, and Izuku just pretty much pushes wings around them and goes like, I just feel like this is some kind of big happy family. And Morgana goes on, pretty much says to herself, I think the same thing, young Izuku. I think the same thing. Well, actually, she'll be saying Shuka because only I'll be saying, from now on, only I'll be saying Izuku. Everyone else will be saying Shuka. Even Katsura. Then after that hug, Izuku will go like, Sakura. I mean, Kazura. And she would go like, yes, honey? And Izuku would go like, I am still not used to that. But anyway, from now on, can you call me Shuka? And she would go like, of course, Shuka. And I need to get used to that. Then we get to them going to class 1A, and they first go to principal. Well, okay. I'm gonna make it so Siku and Kazura can do something. Like all dragons could do this. So pretty much all three of them can do it. It's just Eri doesn't know it yet. And Shuka and Kazura, well, Izuku and Kazura may go like, Aries, we're gonna be gone for most of the day, so we're gonna do this. And they pretty much take a piece of their, pretty much breathe out whatever element they choose, and there's a clone of them, which is exactly like them in every single way. And go like, we'll have these look after you, okay? They're exactly like, they're exact image of us, so you can do what you would do with us, okay? And she was like, okay. Bye, Shuka, bye. And guys are, and they're like, bye, Eri, bye, Eri. Let's see when we get back. And then they head to the school. And the passive abilities of the dragons are, well, basically for Izuku and, like, dragons are like 10 times stronger than a mere human, well, the strongest human, which right now is since Alma is the strongest human right now, and his prime, Izuku and Kazura are 10 times stronger than him in his prime. And everything about them is 10 times better than All Might's prime. Like, their durability, speed, strength, all that. And they have since All Might didn't have any regeneration at all, their generation is 5 times better than his because he didn't have one. Like, okay, if we were going for the Nomu and them two, they have better regeneration than it. Way better regeneration. They have godly amounts of regeneration. It's like Bond's regeneration. Yeah, it's gonna be something like Bond's, but they can die if you know how to do it exactly. But no one knows how to do it. And for you to kill a dragon or someone with dragon blood, you don't have to kill you have to destroy every single atom, which no one's quirks can do that. And you would have to have like black flames to be able to do it. And Izuku can breathe black flames. It just hurts on it a tad bit. Yeah, that's how powerful his lungs are. He is one of the most powerful of his royal family. So yeah, he's a royal dragon, which Zuko didn't even know. Inko didn't even know about. She didn't even know dragons existed. So she thought that someone was a freak and kicked and burned it down, basically. That's why she did it last time. The previous part. Now we get to Zuko and Kazura in Class 1A, and they just sit down. And they're sitting right next to each other. And everybody's speaking except them, because they're just speaking in their minds. Izuku's like, so, why do you think the teacher's gonna wake up? I don't know. Then Araka comes over and says, because if I didn't say this, Araka still got stuck under the rubble, and she thanks both of them, and they're basically like, huh? Oh, no problem. And then Izuku goes like, you might want to sit down. And the teacher's about to wake up. And she was like, wait, what? And then he just puts his hands up to 5. Then he starts counting down. Like this, but not talking. And she quickly goes to her seat. Then when he closes his fist, Aizawa wakes up. And Izuku just looks like, when Aizawa stops speaking, and Izuku just goes like, so, teach, what are we doing today? I'm guessing we're not going to do orientation. Am I right? And Aizawa would be like, yes. Now put these uniforms on and meet me in the training grounds. And Izuku and Kazura just immediately do that. And Aizawa was just like, I like this kid already. I like these kids already. And he pretty much says to the other, well, no, he's not. He won't think that yet, but he will. And he just says to the others, because they were complaining, you should be more like those two. And everybody just walks to the changing rooms. And when Izuku immediately sees Mineta walking towards a hole, Izuku just goes like, no. And he walks towards the hole. Thinking that he wants to peek first, he just rushes over there. And Izuku just blocks him with his wing and goes like, bad Mickey. And then he breathes over the hole and it makes it so no one can see through it ever again. And Kishima is like, pretty much does his manly tears and says, so manly. And Manala is just complaining because he covered up the hole. And Izuku goes like, would you rather me blow that fire on you? Because I will do it. And Todoroki goes like, fire user. And he pretty much hates him more. Pretty much just gets a little bit of hate towards him. And then Izuku looks at him and goes like, you must hate people with fire. So I'm gonna guess Endeavor's child. Then when Izuku takes off his shirt, and Kirishima goes like, whoa, how did you get those scars? And Izuku goes like, training. And training you will not be able to do. Even if anyone in this classroom had a hardening quirk, you would not be able to do my type of training. And Kirishima goes like, why not? And Izuku just goes like, my quirk literally goes around a dragon, and you know how powerful those things are? And Kirishima thinks about it and goes like, yeah, point. And she goes in, but then says, but I can help you train with your quirk. And then Kirishima goes like, really? And Izuku goes like, yeah, you probably have a hardening quirk, alright? And he goes like, yeah? Then I can help you with that. Just meet me after school. And he goes like, cool! And basically, those two then Izuku and Kishimoto become friends fast. Then when he looks at Bakugo, he just he just looked away real fast. And he has an angry look on his face. But he immediately... Actually, no, he doesn't show it. But he is angry. Because he does not like seeing Bakugo here. He still remembers him, yeah. He's one of the main reasons he ran away. Bakugo kind of remembers someone by the name, that he used to call deku. But now he barely remembers that person. Now we get to when Zuko and Kazura get outside. They're the first people out. And I saw go like, one of you will have to go first. And just immediately says, Kazura, you go first. And she was like, are you sure, Shakura? Shaka? And he's like, I'm sure, Kazura. Now you go first, I'll go next. Then everybody gets out when she's in the circle. Well, actually no. We wait to when everybody is outside, and Aizawa says, since both of you tied in first place, one of you is gonna have to go first. And Zuko just immediately says, Kazura, you go first. And she goes like, okay, Shaka. And then she pitches the ball, and she almost makes it to infinity. But she's on like 100 meters off. And she goes like, good job, Kazura. You almost did it. If we just get you to pass your limits again, we'll probably get you to be able to do it. And then Kazura goes like, thank you, Shuka. And then when she passes the ball to Zuko, well, when she gets the ball to Zuko kisses her on the forehead. And she was like, I know I can do better than you, but let's make it so you can do better than me one day. And she goes, yeah, that's my call. And then pretty much all the boys are like, lucky, because Kazura in their eyes is the most beautiful girl. And Bakugo's just like, lucky bastard. And Izuku just goes, alright. My turn. And he stretches a little bit, and he goes like, Owie. And Izuku goes like, it's been a while since I done this. So, full power. Kazura, do you think I should use full power? And Kazura goes like, use 50. And Zuko goes like, you sure? And she's like, yeah, I'm sure. And Aizawa tries to erase his quirk, but that ain't gonna work. And even if it did, Zuko is using pure strength, and he gets infinity. And everybody is shot except Kazura. And Kazura goes like, good job, Zuko. I'm betting you probably touched the moon. And Zuko goes like, yeah, probably. so since I get infinity, that would be first place, right? And Aizawa goes like, yes. Then we get to the rest of the test, or I guess ties with Izuku. And Izuku goes like, oh, we got a anti-gravity quirk here. That's nice. And we get to speed. Izuku and Kaizura are in first and second place. Strength, first and second place. Side to side jumps, first and second place. Pretty much, they both get first and second place. And Aizawa just sees them being more powerful than the whole class. And Izuku goes like, Aizawa, if I'm right, you're a Razorhead, right? And he goes like, yes. And Izuku goes like, then that's what the quirk that I felt getting pushed on to me was. And so he's confused and goes like, hmm? And he goes like, basically I can feel any type of erase, like any quirk that's supposed to erase another quirk, I can feel. If since you aimed it at me, I felt the pressure of it, and I saw it. My quirk can't be erased. Same as Kazura's. And we pretty much have the same type of quirk, but mine's a more powerful version of hers. And Aizawa asks, how so? And he goes like, I can breathe. She can only breathe one element, I can breathe every single one. And Aizawa goes like, okay, that is a more powerful version of hers then. Then, after all the tests are done, and after the test, then before the class ends, Izuku points to Taraoki and says, you, I would like to speak to you in private. Taraoki's suspicious, but it's okay. And then they go in private, and Izuku goes like, are you son of Endeavor? And Taraoki gets an angry face and what's it to you? And Izuku goes like, I see what's going on. And Taraoki is confused and goes like, what? And Izuku pretty much, and Izuku says, that's Karani face. Endeavor was the cause of it, yes? Or the original cause of it? And Taraoki would be like, yes. And Izuku would be like, that's why I saw some hatred coming towards me from you. And Taraoki was like, excuse me? I know that feeling too well. Heck, I used it on a person in our classroom. I'm surprised you didn't even feel it coming from me or anyone. And then Taraoki asks, who would that be? Izuku just says in an angry tone, Bakugo Katsuki. And remember, guys, Izuku has had holes in his wings because of Bakugo, and his horns were a little bit chipped because of it. And Taraoki asks, why do you have hate towards him? And Izuku goes like, I'm gonna have to show you. and he pops out his wings and horns. And Taro goes, what's wrong with them? And Izuku looks like, look closer at my wings and horns. And he looks closer and he sees like charred like burnt marks on him, around 2 holes on each wing and burnt marks on his horns. And he goes like, and Izuku goes like, that was caused by him. He probably doesn't know it's me though, because my appearance has changed. I still have a different type of wings and horns, but now I look like this. And I had greenish blackish hair. Itadori goes like, is your name by any chance Izuku Midoriya? And Izuku goes like, oh, so they figured out that I was missing. That's surprising. And turn good like, and Todoroki asks about his parents, and Zuko just gets an angry face when he mentions them and goes like, don't mention them. Ever. I barely remember my dad, and I freaking hate my mother. And Charlie goes like, so we're kind of in the same boat? And Suga goes like, yeah. Except I ran away. And I completely changed my name. And I mean completely. And Toru goes like, what did you change your name into? Shuka Uzume. And Toru goes like, that's a nice name. Nice ring to it. And Izuku goes like, oh, one thing before we go. Don't think that the quirk that you have that is Endeavor's fire. It's yours. You can't use your quirk. So yeah, it's your fire. Then he gets a flashback of his mother, and Rogue like, thanks for that. And Zuko just pats him on the shoulder and goes like, no problem. Just... Oh, and if I see Endeavor doing anything, trying to do anything stupid, I'm gonna scare the fuck out of him. And Rogue goes like, and sheds a heavy tear and goes like, please do. And then Zuko goes like, oh, and if you want to piss off your dad, pretend we never have. Pretend, like, just keep using your eyes only, just to keep pissed off your dad. I'd like to see him get mad. And Trevor goes like, we'll do. And Suga goes like, oh, I have an idea. How about when our school gets to a special event, you show off your fire there against me. And Toro goes like, ooh, good idea. And Suga then says, that, and you would probably need it to be a match towards me. And Toro goes like, what do you mean? And Suga basically says, well, if I would face against All Might's true power, like All Might at 100% without if All Might had an injury, Izuku then says this, look, Todoroki, if I had face, if All Might had an injury that made it so he wasn't in his prime, it made him slow, and pretty much made him have less hours to do hero work. I could beat him I could beat him without using any. I could just beat him with wind. You can probably knock him out with one of my wings. Because that's how powerful my type of dragon is. Type of dragon quirk is. And so it goes like, what's its true name? And Togepi asks. And it goes like, Royal Dragon. And Togepi goes like, oh. And Suka goes like, and you know the difference between a royal and a, like, imagine a royal and a noble. What's the difference between them? Other than its status. Their Togepi goes like, one's more powerful, and Suka goes like, yeah. And Kazuo just has a normal type of dragon quirk. I'm a royal. Who do you think has more power? And Togepi goes like, oh, so you're like the strongest creature on this planet. And she goes like, yeah, pretty much. And once you gain enough of my trust from me and Kazuo, I will tell you a secret that only Kazuo and me know together. And we also might invite you to our house that we've made together. And Togepi goes like, so you two are a couple. And Suka goes like, why wouldn't, well, I did kiss her on the forehead. And Togepi goes like, true. And Suka goes like, alright, well, see you later. And that's when that class ended. And Kirishima goes like, yo, wait up. And Michigan goes like, Kirishima. You ready? You may want to tell your parents that you'll be home a little late. And Kirishima goes like, or you could just... And then Ishiki just says, you could ask your parents if you could just stay over for the night. And Kirishima goes like, ooh, good idea. And she goes like, oh, actually I have a better idea. What's the location of your home? And he says it, and she goes like, okay, hey, Kazura, do you mind following us? And she goes like, sure, Shuka. And she was like, hold out your arms, Kirishima, and you're like, okay. Then he grabs him and starts flying. And Kirishima goes like, whoa, whoa, whoa. And Suka goes like, you'll be fine. You feel like a feather to me. And Kirishima goes like, really? Yeah. You are literally a feather to me. To me and Kazura. Then we get to Kirishima's house, and then he asks his parents if he can spend a night with his friend, which is right behind him. And they go like, of course. And Kirishima goes to grab his clothes, and Suki and Kazuro just chat with Hiro's parents. And their parents see how nice those two are, and they like them. And when Kirishima calms down, Izuku goes, are you ready, Kirishima? And he goes like, yeah, I'm ready. And then Izuku goes like, alright, you ready? Alright, let's go then. Right. And Kirishima pretty much goes like, bye mom, bye dad. Because I'm pretty sure he still lives with his parents. If I'm wrong about that, tell me. And we get to heading to the cabin, and she just pretty much displaying those clones of those Zuko and Kashura dispelling those clones of themselves, which go up in flames and ice. With no flames and wind. And he goes like, "What the hell?" And she just walks out of the cabin and goes like, "Sugar, Sugar," and Sugar just puts down it. She went and walks beside him and goes like, "Hey, Aaron, give us a hug." And then she does, and Harry just looks up and sees Kirishima and goes like, "What is?" And she was like, "This is Kirishima. He's gonna spend the night here, dude. Is that okay with you, Harry?" And she goes like, Harry goes like, just ask Kirishima one question. "Are you nice?" And Kirishima just goes, "I'm nice." And she just just shows a happy face, and Kishore just goes like, "So cute." And Suku and Kishore chuckle a little bit, and Kishore goes like, "What's so funny?" And Suku and Kishore just go like, that was our first expression when we first saw her." And she went like, "Oh, okay." And he sees her wings and horns, and Christian goes like, "Oh, those wings are, you're so beautiful with your wings and horns." And Harry goes like, "Thank you." And then she runs back inside, and she goes like, "Well, let's unpack, let's put those somewhere." And then she goes like, "Hey, Kirishima, have you ever gone hunting before?" And Kirishima goes like, "No." "Well, you're allowed to do it now, so come on." And he was like, "Okay." And before they went, Suku goes like, "One question, you want to get wool or leather?" And Kirishima goes like, "Leather." And I was like, "Alright, you come with me, because we'll get the wool." And then they get the wool and leather, and Kirishima goes like, "Do you live alone with those two?" And Suki goes like, "Well, yeah, I did run away from my home." And then Suki starts talking about what his life was before, and then he talks about Bakugo, which Kirishima is not friends with at all. And Kirishima just goes like, "That is not manly." And Suki goes like, in my words, I'd say this: he's a bitch. He's a rude fucking bitch. And Kirishima goes like, I'd use those words too. And Suki just goes like, and he's basically the reason why I have these holes in my wings and chipped marks on my horns. And Kirishima goes like, "That's awful." And Suki goes like, "I know, right? I think I did run away from home, though." And the day, and Kirishima goes like, "So what happened after you did run away?" And she was like, "Well, after that day, I met Kazura. And he can..." And she goes like, if you gain enough of mine and Kazura's trust, I'll tell you a secret." and only me, Eri, and Kazura know of it. Is that a deal? I'll make you that deal. Alright? And Kishima goes like, deal! I'll become your best friend. And she just chuckles a little bit and goes like, you're gonna be my first friend then. And Kishima just goes like, even better! And just tears up. Manly. And he just was like, I think you need to get rid of that manly thing. Well, Izuku just says that in his head. Oh, that's probably gonna get annoying, but I'll get used to it. And then they get back with the leather, and then Kazura gets back with the bowl, and they make that another mattress. And Kishima goes like, whoa, how many of those do you have? And she goes like, I think 4 now. Yeah, she goes like, well, you got that pretty planned out, did you? And she says, well, the first one it was Kazura's, then the second one was mine, then the third one was Aries. Now this one's yours. Now, see if this is perfect for you. And he says, oh. Okay. Then he lays on it. Then he lays down on it, and he says, yeah, this is perfect. And she goes like, good. Now let's put this in the cabin. And you're like, alright, we might need some help with this. And Kirishima goes like, leave it to me. And then all 3 of them pick it up. And Kirishima goes like, whoa, this is heavy. And she goes like, it's a little bit heavy for us, but I would see why it would be heavy for you. And then Izuku just goes like, after we put this in this cabin, I'm gonna start helping you with your quirk, alright? And Kishima goes like, alright. And Izuku goes like, alright. Then they get you the training for it. Kishima's hardening. And Izuku goes like, alright, first, let's build up your body. And Kishima goes like, more than this? And Izuku goes like, more than that. I have an idea. Okay, he grabs. She would go, alright, come on. And they head to the strongest type of material on the planet, pretty much in the area. Which is a steel. Which is a steel rock. And she goes like, punch this. And Kishima goes like, what for? And she goes like, Iron Bone training. And Kishima goes like, oh, okay. And then he practices it and goes like, my hand. And she goes like, I can fix it. He blows up some green mist, and his hands immediately healed up. And Kishima goes like, wow, what was that? And she goes like, pretty much a mist that heals everything in it. And Kishima goes like, wow, that's cool. And she goes like, I know. I can breathe anything. Pretty much. I just said, I only said that to Aizawa that I can breathe the elements. But I can also breathe whenever I wish. And Kishima goes like, that's cool. And she goes like, alright, let's continue your bone and muscle training. And then they continue on the training. And Kishima has increased his body. And Kishima went from Kirishima pretty much went to what his body looked like, to that type of body. And Kirishima goes like, "Well, this training is amazing." And Zuki goes like, Eventually you'll probably be able to get to my level." And Ezekiel pretty much has this build for his body. And for Kazura, she has a smaller version of his for her muscles. She also has muscles. Ezekiel is not to this level yet, but once we get to a certain, when we get to a sports festival, he will be that. He definitely will. And right now, he has Baki's face from Baki. And Kirishima goes like, and Kirishima asks, "Are you two dating or something?" And she just goes like, "Yes." And Kirishima goes like, "Oh, cool." And Izuku just goes like, "Well, let's get ready. Alright, since your body's... Okay, let's see how far you can do your hardening now." And he can go all the way up to unbreakable without breaking a sweat now. And Kirishima is like, "Oh, this is cool." And Izuku goes like, "Oh wow, you can do that for him now. Oh, you can do that now. That's cool. Let's call that unbreakable." Right? Kirishima goes like, "Oh, I think it's good." But Izuku goes like, "But if you were against me, I could probably break that easily." And Kirishima goes like, "Yeah, probably. With your build in what your core does for you, yeah, I would say you could beat me easily." And Izuku chuckles a little bit and goes like, "Yeah. Anyway, Then we get to them. Then we get to the next day, and Izuku was like, well, and Aizawa talks about the USJ. They get to the USJ. Izuku is like, alright. Aizawa? And Izuku, and Aizawa goes like, something's not right. And Aizawa goes like, what do you mean? And Izuku goes like, look over the... He points to one of the lights and he goes like, look at that. That shouldn't be going on. There should be a big generator for this building, right? And Aizawa goes like, you're right, there's something not right. And Aizawa goes like, yeah, especially if there's a portal there. And Aizawa goes like, wait, what? And Izuku goes like, alright, we're going for action. Kazuro, you're with me. Aizawa, I'm pretty sure you're gonna need help, so come on. And Aizawa pretty much says to the rest of the students, when Kirishima talks about the portal, he just says to the other students, this is not a drill, these are villains. And Izuku just says to Ida, get the heroes, since you're the fastest here, other than me and Kazura. And Ida was like, don't worry, and he does it. And Kirigiri hasn't finished the portal thing, so he can't do it. And then when all the villains are out, except a present for All Might, which quotation marks, and Zuko, Aizawa, and Kazuma are down there. It's like, alright. Both Kazuma and Izuku are stretching, and Aizawa go like, what are you doing? And Izuku and Kazuma go like, you'll see at the same time. And when they're done stretching, they immediately transform into a slimy dragon form. And I was like, what the hell? And Izuku was like, all of our cores are dragon cores, so wouldn't it be obvious for us to transform into dragons? And that's what it was like, yeah, from right there. And Izuku was like, fire breath. No, it says, both of them say it. Well, okay. Izuku says wind breath, and no. Izuku says ice. Well, first, Kazura says wind breath, and she blows wind, and Izuku just blows out ice. And all the villains, including Kira and Shigaraki, are trapped in ice. Wow. Right before they landed on the ground, all of them are floating in mid-air with ice surrounding them. Like, they're engulfed in ice. Every single villain there. And since they can't get the Namu out, they pretty much retreat because Kirigiri can't do anything to get them out of there. That was staying in the USJ. And then they get out of there, and Kirigiri goes like, and that's done. And when All Might gets there, and you see a big block of ice, and the villain's still in ice, he pretty much immediately thinks that they killed him now. And All Might goes like, you killed them! And it goes like, no, they're still alive. Look carefully. All Might looks, and he sees their eyes shaking in fear. And All Might goes like, oh crap, my bad. And Izuku goes like, no problem, All Might. Let me just unfreeze these villains so you can tie them up. Oh, and All Might. There was a villain with a teleportation quirk, and by guessing the other one, the details decay. And All Might was like, thank you for the information. And she was like, when Todoroki saw that, he just gasped because that is bigger than his ice. Way bigger. You could never make ice that big. And Hishima just goes like, really? And then like a day later, well, the press tries to get something out of them, but Zuko just goes to the press and says, fuck off. There was nothing happened. Nothing happened. Even if the villains got here, nothing happened. So shut the fuck up and leave this school alone. And he shows a dragon's face, which scares all the press, well, all the reporters. So they just squirm her out, and he secretly goes like, finally. And Ishika's face didn't get shown on there, and Ishika's face is just like Bobby, so his mother won't be able to see the same thing. And Ishika's like, finally. And Kazuro's like, you okay, Ishika? And I'm fine. I just hate that fucking press. I'm gonna have to get used to it once I become a hero, though. And Kazura was like, yeah, there, Shuka. And right now, if you're wondering what's going on, what Morgana is doing, she is asleep. And Eren is having fun with the clones of Izuku and Kaksari. And then I saw it talks about the sports festival. I think that's